hopefully, maybe. I don't know, I've lost track of what it is already. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Night Edits. Again, if you haven't been before, I'm Andy Gray, and normally we do ICM photography, and in a kind of way, we are going to do ICM photography, well, edit ICM photography, but we are also riding on the coattails of last week's stream where we used the I nearly said MidGod, MidJourney, artificial intelligence, art generation bot thing, whatever it's called. So we're gonna combine two to see. I haven't tried it, so this is very much trial and error tonight. So the result might be absolute rubbish, but we're gonna have a go. So in preparation, I did actually make a couple of skyscapes using MidJourney. I should change the name, obviously. Fucking hell. Start again, Andy. So I've made some skyscapes in MidJourney in preparation to splice in with today's hopefully semi-finished image to then put things together. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, you will be learning along with me because I haven't tried it. I don't really have a vision for it. So we'll just have to see how it goes. So if you're here for disasters or things not going smoothly, then this is the stream for you. Welcome. Right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good morning, Kangaroo, because you are way out west. I hope you're well. Fast kettle. Well, I did actually press the on switch, came back, typed in, waiting on, off to boiling the kettle. So it had already started. But yes, cup of tea ready. Lovely stuff. Good evening, Paul. Good evening, Andrew. Good evening, other Paul. Hi, Marty. Supposed to. Oh, you're cooling off a bit. It's cooled right off here, thankfully. I mean, on what day is it today? It is Tuesday. On Sunday here, which isn't too bad. I think it was like 26. Oh, it was certainly 26. Maybe it's the day before. Today, it's been 14. Fantastic. It's been 14 and like drizzly all day. So it's been lovely compared to all that heat we've had. A lovely, lovely change. Evening, hi, man. I keep on forgetting what your actually first name is. Sorry. How are you, sir? Hope you're well. Good evening, Stephen. I noticed you've been playing in the server, Stephen. Good stuff. It's all been good. It's all been good. Good afternoon, Jerry. How are you doing, sir? Keeping well, I hope. 14 sounds perfect. Yeah, it's been a nice change, Kangaroo. It's been a nice change. Well, yeah, Paul. It should be. Yeah, MidJourney should be. It's more of a. I can't remember what the word is. It suits it better. God, my brain is terrible for these things. Yes, the mind word suits it better because artificial intelligence and all that. I don't need to explain it to you, but you know what I'm like. The brain is not working. I don't know where yesterday went by in a flash. Today's gone by in a flash, and I'm thinking, when am I actually going to get any functional work done? Because it's just a disaster zone at the minute. I just seem to be getting stuck on other things. So I think I need some late nights and some early mornings to get caught up. If normal stuff's just going to get in the way. But yeah, no bother, Stephen. Continue to spam the server. It's interesting to see what everybody's making. I mean, obviously, I think you only get so many free credits, or however they want to structure it. But I think because I paid like £10 for the month, and I think that means you get like 200 images or processors or whatever you want to call it. And I have one left after more 8 or 9 days. So I think I might be moving on to the per creation model, or upgrading to the 30 quid a month model for the time being, and then downscaling again. Because I'm sure I'll get bored of it a little bit. But yeah, there's other people who've been jumping in there. Paul's been on there creating goodies. Even got Andrew Atkinson on there today. Had to re-educate him how to use Discord, but got him going. And I think he's now addicted, so that's great. Stephen, it doesn't matter. Just, the world's your oyster. It's just, to be honest, I put that there so you guys can play around with it without being in the MidJourney server where there's like a million other people trying to make artwork as well. So it means we can all, you guys can actually start your processes off and then find, it's the next image down. So anybody watching, feel free to join my Discord. Link is below. There might even be a chat command for it. I know there is a chat command for the link to appear in chat. Mrs. Mod, if you're listening. There you go. Right on cue, Kangaroo. Thank you very much. That's if it works. It did work. What was I saying? Yeah, you just feel free to join that and do that kind of work on my server. And it's because the actual Midgard server is just. I think the maximum amount of people you can have on a Discord server is something like 1 million, and I think they're actually at it and they're struggling. They're having to kick people off that are inactive, from what I hear. Okay, Paul, I haven't seen that. If you kind of wish to spread that link to that somewhere, Paul. I'm not very well read. I don't come across these things. Good morning, John. How are you? Hope you're well. Yeah. Well, at least you're. I can barely get my mother to type anything. Never mind join in anything. Shut up, phone. Just knock you off. In other news, I wouldn't say I've joined Vero or whatever it's called, because I joined it like 4 years ago, but I logged in for the first time in 4 years yesterday, and put a picture on and followed a lot of people, because people are not leaving Instagram and Twitter, but they are going to Vero, however it's pronounced, and using that a bit. So I thought I don't like missing out on a party, so there we go. I went and reactivated my account, and I may post more pictures there. So if you're on there and want to follow me, please do follow me. I will probably follow you back. Unless you're really bad at photography, then I'll not. Joking. No, if I recognise you, I will follow you back. Right. So that's enough waffle, I think. Good evening, Alan. By the way, did I say good evening? I can't remember. Hope you're well, sir. Actually, Alan, did you go out for misty sunrises or misty mornings the last on Saturday and Sunday? Because it looked like there was lots of mist around when I was awake. Early doors. The article I'm in. Was that the one that was in B&H? I see what you mean, Paul. Sorry, that's me being really dim. That's me being really, really dim, Paul. I apologise for that. Yeah, the B&H thingy. Article. Yeah, that'll come out last month. But yeah, that was a really good art. Yeah, really well put together article. Some very notable names. Plus they got me to do a little bit as well. There's no beat. No, there's no mist up there. Mist bloody everywhere else, mate. It was thick as anything here for a little while, anyway. What's the condition of the trees there, mate? Are they? Is it cleaned up? Is it still flattened? Is it rough as hell? Is there tyre tracks everywhere, or? Where do you find that article? Did I link to it in Discord? I must have done it. Paul said so. Let's have a search. Be in general, maybe? I can't remember. I put loads of rubbish in Discord, don't I? Loads of that was Digital Camera World. I can't remember. It was that long ago. Let's go back to the Obi-Wan trailer. I am not sure where I put it actually. You didn't get out of the car. Well, fair enough, Peter. Fair enough, Alan. Would it be announcements, maybe? Because that's just random rubbish. No, it wasn't it wasn't the Digital Camera World one. It was B&H. Here we go. Let me copy link. That'll be the one. I will put it in chat if it allows me to. It should allow me to, because I'm the bloody controller of the channel. Hopefully you can see that and it hasn't blocked me. And that's part one. I think there's 5 parts to it, I think, Paul. A worthy read. Stephanie helped out massively on that article for the guy that wrote it. So there's loads of it, loads from her about it on there. Excellent. Right, let's crack on, because the people that are here to do things about MidJourney are probably bored right now because I'm waffling. Yeah, Andrew took some really nice misty morning shots. One from, was it yesterday morning on along by the Tyne Bridge? Really nice. I think he was out in the fields the morning before. Lovely stuff. Right, minimise that. I pressed the wrong button. Minimise that. Right, so last time we went through the whole process of, how to make things on MidJourney. Jesus Christ. So we're not going to go through that again because I've already made some skyscapes that I kind of want to use. So the first part of tonight is going to be doing my normal ICM blend stuff together kind of process, and then when we bring it into Photoshop, then we'll bring in the couple of options of skies that I've created in MidJourney. Don't call it Midgard. Flaming hell, man. Right, conjuration. Let's go to that button. Yeah, driving a train will get in the way of that. It certainly will. It is. It's a really good name. We live in Midgard, don't we? So we all, it was always we're living amongst the best name. Right. So me and Alan went down to Bamborough Beach for sunset and the supermoon rising. So I did a little bit of ICM of the sunset hitting the castle, which was lovely. So, and we also did, I also got an image or two of the supermoon rising. There you go. Was that the PSD version? Yeah. And a little trick I thought about. I'll never say I created it, but I thought about it. But because I photographed this handheld because I left the tripod in the car, so I couldn't do like a well exposed kind, and bracketed image to get the detail of the moon there. I actually the imprint of the moon here, which you can see the various seas and the Sea of Tranquility and all that garbage. That is actually a paint shop brush. So I painted the bright overexposed moon with a bit of an orange tinge, and then basically used a mask and imprinted that, and then deleted the orange from a roundabout, and we got like a very subtly exposed moon. Yeah, I think we got there in the end, Paul. We got in there. So I did that on that one, and I didn't do it so good on this one. I think I overcooked it on this one. As you can see, it's a bit unrealistically dark. But it worked a treat on, was it this one? Because obviously, I mean, this one was proper white, so it worked really well on that. So there's a trick. Download a Photoshop brush. Paint Shop, that's about 1997. Paint Shop Pro. A Photoshop brush of a full moon. Plash it in the middle of there. Job's a good one. It ain't cheating. You're just getting the result you want. So let's get beyond that. Let's get some images. An image made, not some images. A image. Now we are dealing with full resolution images tonight, so the computer might. Very clever, mate. It was good thinking by me, sir. Because I was looking at your images, mate, and you're like, you've got the bloody moon details in. How do I get that in? Seems I didn't have the. I wasn't able to bracket those bits in, and you can control the subtlety of it as well. Very nice. Right, Andy, you're waffling again. For God's sake, shut up. Right, so I'm going to plash. Let's 3 or 4 of these together. Let's go this one, that one. Maybe it's not that one. Yeah, those ones. Right, so very simply. Remember, this is very much experimental, and I don't know how it's going to turn out. So let's just go for the usuals. Just do auto on there. Let's warm that up a little bit. Okay, right, let's leave that there. Yeah, let's bring the highlights down, because the sky is going to be quite a bit darker than this washed out kind of image. So that's why we're kind of blending these together. It's probably it's gonna end up darker anyway. Let's bring the blacks to about there, because I'll show you the sky when we get into Photoshop. But it is quite a bit darker and a lot more vivid. So it's a case of trying to blend that in a nice fashion. which might be a bit of a struggle. Right, let's sync that. And we will push these over to Photoshop and wait. Right, whilst it's doing that, let's come back to me. Yeah, so I might do a very, very quick video on that moon technique that I kind of dreamt up. I mean, there'll be plenty of people out there that do it or have done it or done similar. But I thought it's a nice little trick. And if I can make a 3-minute video out of it, then that'll be grand. And good evening. Good news, which I'm sure you'll be really happy about. I haven't sent it yet, but I do actually have it. All that rubbish out of the way, and post, which is probably really important. But your print is in here now. If you've got a trimmer at home or have access to one, I will simply just roll it up and send it to you. But because it's been printed on a larger than A3 sheet, it's not centered, so it's all in one corner. So it either needs trimmed or if you can handle the trimming. And then I can get that rolled up and sent to you. Finally. It's I will do that, Paul. I have no idea where I actually got the moon brushes from. But yeah. You've got a trimmer at home, man. Fantastic. I will simply get that rolled up to you and get it to. It might be next week by the time I get into town for the post office again, unless we go in on Friday. I will let you know. But I just thought I've been waiting for you to reappear. So it's good. It's good to see you as well. Anyway, all right. Let's get back into here. Yeah, I can't remember the actual site I got them from, Paul, but it probably said, don't steal these or don't use these commercially, and whatever. So. And I'm not very good at retracing my steps. But then again, it might be really obvious. If you Google it, and then it'll be there. Right, how do we do with this again? It feels like it's that long since I've done any image editing. Right, I think it might just be overlay a soft light. Right, let's use multiply and let's get these linked together. Not linked together, you know what I mean. Right, let's use that one as a base. So we've got more sky to play around with. So let's get these lined up. Remember, we are gonna pretty much effectively delete the sky anyway, or blend it in, so it doesn't really matter about having these lines, having not much up here. So let's see how that goes. And you can come in about here-ish. Alright, so if we go to overlay, soft light, overlay, soft light. Let's go overlay. Let's go overlay. Then we can adjust the color from there. So we want to, right. Like I said, this is all trial and error. I haven't practiced this, so this might go down really, really badly. And I've also got to try to figure out how to do this in the best way. There's no real point softening that out. Let us do a hue and saturation slidery job. Let's introduce a little bit more color to potentially match what we have. what we have coming rather. Just kind of looking for a bit of a base. Let's go into here. Let's Kyans or Cyans. Let's draw them a little bit. Getting a bit green. We definitely want that one in. Oh, now actually taking that one out makes a hell of a difference, doesn't it? So we ditch that one. That might work better. Yeah, that might work better altogether. Right then, so over here I have a few. Where did I not? Oh, it's there. I can't see for looking. So I made some skyscapes, like I said earlier on. I made some skyscapes, so I will bring one of these across. So I put into the MidJourney thing, skyscape, sunset, golden hour, that kind of thing, impressionist, oil paint. This is one of the ones that got spat out. Let's delete that one, and this was another one, like so. You know, obviously with the more yellow cast, this one might actually suit this image quite nicely. And is this the same one or a slightly different? That's slightly different. Again, quite nice impressionist sky. These ones have kind of gone a bit darker. Whether I'm not sure this will suit this image unless I do a lot of alterations to this, but we'll see. Yeah, it might be a bit over. It might be a bit overcooked, Stephen. And then I put I wanted one that was like really, really red, because we all like red, don't we? So there you go. There's them's some of the options. Well, one of the description was oil painting Kangaroo, so in a way, Stephen. But we can use opacity and all those kind of tools to potentially get around it. You know, we've got various blurs as well to soften things up. The other option is to go the other way with this. Because really, what we usually do, we'll stick this in Analog Effects Pro and go to town and do loads of wild stuff to it. So what we might actually do is let's go to selective tool. Red command works. Good to see. What to do there? Yeah, brought this in. Right, let's do a quick thingy edit on here. Bring that up so I can see. Make sure I'm still online. You move over here. I can see what I'm doing. Later. Oh fuck, it's still loading, isn't it? Alright, let's look at this one. This is immediately brought in, increased the vividness of the colours, so they might match in there. I think you do have to go in with a bit more foresight. to work like this, rather than just happen across an image, which is what I usually do. I think it's more of a case of going in with that visual, a rough idea of the kind of finished look or nearly finished look, or up to a point. Yeah. Boring. Come on. One of the main problems. Probably one of the main problems is blending the two together is going to be the one or the tricky bits to do. It's a bit heavy-handed. Because really, I mean, it's because obviously the skyscape that we're going to bring in is going to handle the sky. So I shouldn't really be. So I should really be concentrating on the foreground, really, shouldn't I? See what this one's like. So we've got this deeper red over here. There's a bit more of a lead in. So obviously we're going to be trimming off here. Let's bring that into there. Right, so let's go with that. Let's okay that, and let's head back into Photoshop. Excuse me with the sniffing. I think I'm getting cold. I think it's all these nights not sleeping in bed because it's been that hot. And then you get to like 6 in the morning and it's a bit chilly. Catch the sniffles. Right, so now do we bring this in through this and see how it goes? Let's see, like bringing in like screen there, that will actually soften it off a bit, so it kind of gives you an idea of what it'll be like with a reduced opacity. So it will weaken it. Soft light and stuff. Soft light. You kind of use this horizon line as the line of the sea, and then we can judge that, and then we can just erase this bottom layer. So we need a bit more canvas size. Yeah, from there, and height we want, let's go 25. 25. Excuse me. There we are, fully encompasses it. Right, so anyways, we need to, let's just do it quickly and uglily. Let's mask this off here. Thingy thing, that's the wrong way around, isn't it? Typical. Mask that off like that. And then let's knock these all off. And then we want to mask that off, so we need to create a mask there. Still doing it the wrong bloody way around. Will you never learn, Andy? That's not the right way of doing it either, because you're dumb. So it's a bit of a join like that. To be honest, I've just dropped that in on the top, Stephen. I don't know what the base resolution was, whether it's upscaled it as I've brought it in, but it's like almost the right kind of size. So I don't know. But the last week, when I was playing around with them last week, I did upscale them. I increased the DPI to like 300, and increased the canvas size to like 15 inches or whatever. So it's kind of doing things. Right. So this one, if I think I might have. Right. Let's get rid of this mask. Again, like I said, this is very much experimentation. So this one and mask I was going to say need to be more precise. Just need to maybe use the actual paintbrush thing to. There you go. There's my moon brush. By the way, you can see the outline there. So if I if I paint in black, it's not black. Should be black. Oh, that's because it's a mask. Let's go make a thingy. So there you go. That's how one of the ways I made a moon. And the pack of moon brushes that I've got there's various types of moon. Thin moons and full moons. Right, let's use that one. Get on with it, Andy. Right, definitely no sugar. Need to get rid of that. You go back onto the mask. The eraser tool. No, it's the wrong way around. Need to switch that. There we go. Right, now we're cooking. Make that bigger. Get rid of the horizon line because we don't want to be able to see the trees from the painting version, do we? And we want to just go very loosely around the edges of there. Wunderbar. Right, so now this one. Turn that off there. I'm quite liking the washed out bit of there. So if I bring that mask down into here and then invert it. God damn it, there's that edge. Right, back to plan B. Plan B is God. Plan B is probably Peter's blend if, but I can never control it how I want to. So we will make a mask and we will erase this manually down to a level. Let's then reduce the opacity as we're getting closer to the edge. And let's just shite. Let's just stay quite far away from the I know it's there, but we can paint that back in. Very loosely like so. So I mean, we're not going to get a fantastic result here. I think we all knew that. We were all pretty, this is just experimenting to see how it goes. Right, so we've got a very, very vivid sky. Now I'm wondering, where's my choices of thingies? Where was that other nice sky? Is that one? If I bring this one in. No, not that one. Which one was it? All them ones look the same. Let's just stick with the vivid red. Let's stick with that. Right, so, yeah. So this, let us do a... Right, how am I going to do this? Right, curved adjustment layer. And we're going to take that off the top end so it kind of flattens it a bit. Going to brighten it, wash it out a bit to there, and this is only going to apply to the layer below. So just this layer, you use this button so it only affects the layer directly below. So that's why it doesn't affect this bit. And I'm tempted. Control J. Let's copy this layer. Move that. Oh no, hold on. Let's undo that and undo that. Let's do a kind of stacked copy thing. To be honest, Paul, I'm not sure about Gaussian blur. I was thinking more of imprinting this texture onto the foreground. I was thinking of like almost mirroring this, which is what we're going to do now, to give it that little bit of texture, to see if we can keep the texture. Because I'm clutching at straws here, to be honest. So if we go on brain, it's not functioning very well for a Tuesday. So if I mirror that and import what's the image? Edit, that's the one. Transform, flip. Nope, that's the wrong bloody command, you fool. You're so bad at school you don't know what bloody vertical and horizontal is. Dumbass, Andy. We get that. Okay, and then we can just, no, we want to go to there. Let's bring this down to 50%. And then we want to drag it into position. So it's kind of like that. Reduce the opacity even more. And change the blend mode just to see what it does. Experimentation. Overlay. Well, it might work. A bit of overlay. Overlay. Increase the opacity. Just a bit. It's kind of working. The only thing is, reflections should... Well, it's not really reflection. It's more adding texture. I was going to say reflections should be darker than the sky, shouldn't they? Semantics, though. I was never really good at physics. And to be honest, observation as well. Right, so that's like that. We need to deal with this. So we need a mask across here because we don't want it to be having an effect up here. So we want that there. That's the wrong bloody way. Do it every time. Right, there we go. Right, so... Right, so we're getting somewhere a little bit closer. Right, I'm just going to do another stacked copy, whatever the terminology is. Let's try that Gaussian blur, Paul. That's because I can't see there, because it's on there. Come on, load. what's this doing to the actual, see if it's actually doing anything or not. It's not really, is it? I think I prefer the slide. Do I? If I drop the... It would, Andrew, it would. But I don't, because I quite like the texture of the oil paint, the digital oil paint. I'm quite keen to keep some of that. But then again, right, let's ditch that, because I didn't do it using a smart object, because I'm old-fashioned. Give me a new layer. Yeah, I'm going to try that now, Stephen, just to see what happens. Filter. Blur. Motion blur. You can tell how much I usually use it. 1,000 pixels wide. Let's change the direction. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I just don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Not convinced. Right, let's go. Screen. Which is better, Andrew, because you're about 30 seconds behind what I'm actually seeing. I must admit, I wasn't keen on that motion blur. I might well be an ICM photographer, but to be honest, I don't like a lot of motion in my images. I like to stay away from like that one directional kind of movement. I do kind of like to keep it. Yeah, I know, Andrew. Yeah, it is very much each to their own, and that is that is the issue. Is I think that's why I prefer my work being more impressionistic than and all the multiple exposures and blending everything together to create an image, rather than like a single image and you're capturing the the movement of the camera and light and saying that's ICM photography, which it is, yes. But it's personal preferences, isn't it? And it's really frustrating. But yeah, I think lighter the better. I think it's lighter the better here. The screen. What am I doing? We did say this would be very experimental. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you can. What I'm, I know what you're coming from. I'm just not sure because I think it works better here because you've got detail. You've got the what you call it, texture. You've got the texture in the foreground, and you've got the texture in the sky. Yes, the texture in the sky is a bit over the top, but I suppose when it comes down to it, it's not really ICM photography anymore, is it? It's digital art. And this is probably another reason why when I'm making my stuff is I don't take images from other areas. I always use the images from the place where it was taken, or that very, you know, say I've taken 20 images of a view, I'll only use images from those 20 images. So if I'm blending 5 together, I'll use 5 out of them 20. And if I've moved to, you know, 5 paces to my right, I'll not mix the 2 batches together. Or if I've taken 50 images in York and 50 images in London, a very unlikely occurrence, and try to bring them together to make something, that's just not me. So I think this is why I'm kind of struggling to put in this foreign sky that wasn't actually there. So it's a bit of a challenge. So hopefully you can kind of see where my head's going with this. It's just a bit difficult. Right, so that was over there. Do I like washed out, or do I like it vivid? Is the question. Or do I like vivid? I think the castle is just a bit bright now. I quite like this because I like red, obviously. I like the vivid nature of it. But I think it's overbearing on the castle because there's that bloom. You might have heard us mention bloom before. Good evening, Simon. Sorry to disappoint, but we're playing with artificial intelligence again. Thank you very much for your comments on Facebook, by the way. So what I term as bloom. So you can see you've got this slightly dark area here and a light area here, but you've got this like very uniform red around here. There's not much graduation between the two, and it becomes one color. That's what I call as bloom, but it'll be the wrong terminology. And I do come across this at times, and that's why you've got to be very careful on how far you push images. Right, so I want to knock some of this back, so I want the eraser tool, and that's 38% and 52 flow. So let's just try and knock this back very steadily. Or maybe not so steadily. Let's just crank that up. Might find the castle just kind of disappears, but right, let's not do that far. Zoom out. I probably did that a bit strong one. Right, so let's try that again, and we need a color. Yeah, we need a color for that. Maybe black is not the one. Let's go for a grey, and then it's not as strong. Yeah, it's maybe not quite there, but yeah, maybe it is a little bit better. Probably a lot of effort for minimal result there. Right, so now that we've got to this point, I think we will just crop off the excess here. Let's clear those and just do so that's an edge there. Go into the edge of there, and let's go into the edge of there. Yeah, there. And there, and let's let's just get rid of all that. Yeah, sometimes works, sometimes it don't. Right, we've got this, so let's do my usual stuff into Analog Effects Pro. And this could change it completely. or it might do absolutely nothing for it. Just have to see. Oh my god, that's very red. Yeah, possibly, Stephen. Very possibly. It is. I mean, it is two very contrasting styles, isn't it? Like almost like a dabbed oil brush, oil paint, compared to a very smooth camera. But then again, it's only a sliver in the middle where the two join. I think it's more of a case of dulling down the top, which we've already tried and failed at. By the way, I presume my mic's already. My niece was round and playing radio DJs with the microphone, and those cables flying everywhere. So hopefully everything's working fine. I don't think any of these are actually going to suit it. Don't think so. I mean, that's washed it out a bit. That's taken some of the dark out of the sky. The tone's completely off. Whoa. I think I might have gone in with too much red to start with. You could have something kind of like that. Bring this mark here, so it kind of does something in the castle there. Let's turn. We can. I was going to say if we could turn that around a bit. Where did that line go? There it is. So it's a bit of a line, it's a bit of a semi-highlighting feature in the landscape. Right, so if we do that, and then we is on that way. Right, that's why it's really flat. The red is as it is. Green. If I turn that off, it's very that. Actually, starting to struggle now. Right, let's take off the lens V. Do we? Bring this into the middle. I'll put it to there. Or there. It's getting to the point of not being very good. That's the only thing. One problem is we are losing a corner here. In the corner, so that needs to come across a bit. If it'll pick it up. I'll sell you if you want, Simon. Right, let's end this little thing here, and then we'll just maybe adjust the colours a bit in Photoshop. Quite like to do like almost like two versions. The only thing is I'd have to import it into bloody Lightroom. So we might not be going back into Lightroom tonight. It might just be just in Photoshop. I bloody would. What, sell you? Damn right. You come up with silly ideas, I will I will follow through. Right, so color. So many notifications on Tuesdays, it's unreal. Color. Look at that. Yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red. Calm down, Andy. Hi, Beatrice. How are you doing? Hope you're well. I know, Simon. It's a hard job. It's going to get very much harder as well. That's why there's some cheaper prints coming soon. There's going to be a range of open edition prints coming. Right, what am I doing? Do I like it? No, let's leave it without that on. I don't think I can. I don't know if I prefer it or what, but anyways. Right, so this one is, let's just have a look at various blend modes. Some mad shit at the end there. Right, that's just as it is. I think I'm actually happier with this version. I hope you're better than fine, Beatrice. I hope you're better than fine. Hope you're keeping well. Right. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with this version. To me, that one's just not quite cutting it. Unless I keep some of it. So if I reduce the opacity there. No, I think even... No, I'm going to ditch that one. Should always embrace the boldness. That one's a bit... That's just... I don't particularly like the washed out stuff. Right, so yes. I think that will... One that will last. Go. Do we just go a little bit more subdued? Does that help? Hinder? Yeah. Think I'm nearly good with that. Nearly. So if I bring that down there, flatten that to about there. And can't desaturate for that from there. There's already a mask on it, so we want that, but we want that to be black and white. The mask is there, and let's do this. The wrong way around. Let's get that way. Now, and another hue and saturation layer, and then that just applies to this one. So do that. Yes, I want to replace it, and I want to invert it. Do I? No, I don't want to invert it. Yeah, that's better. Right. Little bit more subtle. A little bit more subtle. I don't want to put light into there because the sun is setting from elsewhere. Right, I think that is a not exactly successful experiment, but I think it was one that needed doing. And I think it might be a case, instead of obviously using MidJourney and specifying the kind of things that you want. Exactly, kind of. It was an experiment, and it was an experiment. Instead of me doing it at 10 o'clock in the morning when there's nobody here and just me sipping cups of tea and drinking Red Bull, with the radio on and everything, or watching YouTube whilst playing around with images, I chose to do it live in front of you, so you can experiment alongside us. I think using MidJourney, and in this case, and all the other images that skyscapes I did specify impressionist, and maybe's more of an abstract directional oil paint type of paint. Have I got an example? That's one we used. Would be that one. I don't know about that one. I'll bring this one across. Make it bigger. I said make it bigger. So you can see in the sky here, there's a bit more directionality to things, rather than being more of a dabbed on, dotted type of effect, or mock paint. So I think maybe he's experimenting more with MidJourney to produce a more of a linear kind of looking sky. Would probably blend together. Good evening, or good afternoon, Peter. Welcome back. Hope the meeting went well. We are just kind of wrapping up, but never mind. Yeah, I think that'll be the thing. So instead of me putting in impressionist, I think I might just be putting in abstract, maybe. Got a new cat. Fantastic, Peter. Congratulations, sir. Drinks are on you tonight. So yeah, I think I'll be, if I'm gonna go down the road of trying to blend some of these things together, then I think I'll have to be much more picky about the skies I create. Hi Becca, how are you doing? No worries. Nice to see you. Thank you very much for dropping by. Everybody coming along at the end. Only the end. But everyone, good to see you anyway. Obviously, the stream will be available for viewing afterwards, if you so wish. So yeah. So if you're, you guys out there as well, if you're thinking about doing similar things, then it's something to think about, is the kind of stuff that you want to put together. And just be mindful of such things. Maybe use things that are going to be easier. I know we can use motion blur in Photoshop. We might well be better blurs out there on the market away from Photoshop. But to me, and yes, you can mix up the directions, but it's just not quite there. There is definitely a potential there, Stephen. I think that this is all just about trying to find what potential it is, because it's only the last few weeks I've started seeing stuff about MidJourney and AI image making and all this kind of stuff, and it's considering how I could use that by joining, using it in collaboration with my own work and my own techniques and my own workflow. Is it possible to bring it together? And I think on today's evidence, it's definitely possible. Today was just the first version and the first try. And, go on how long it took me to develop my workflow for ICM. Normally, it's going to take me quite a while before I get something nailed down that I can actually rely on to make work consistently. I think that is the thing. Becca, that'll be great to see. Becca, be great to see. Well, we're working with artificial intelligence and other stuff. Very exciting times, very worrying times. So I think that's the thing. There's the great debate of, will artificial intelligence replace, this style of artificial intelligent art creation? Will it replace the artist, or will it, will any bozo with a keyboard that fancies a picture of a sunset for the wall, will they just go onto MidJourney and go sunset for my kitchen wall? Will they, in the style of GMW Turner or whatever, will they just do that and then go and get it printed and framed and jobs are good, and they've saved themselves a fortune by not going to an artist who's going to charge a ton of money? And there's also the thing is, graphic designers and stuff that, what's the term where you do like idea generation, and then you go to the professional, and say, I want that. That might have some effect, but at the moment, it's early days. AI replacing Whitehall, now that'd be a good idea. It depends if private companies are running it, because obviously the thing at the minute is the scary shit about charter cities and free ports. It's going to be bad, from what I can tell. It is early days, Stephen. It is very early days. No worries, Anne. Thank you very much for coming along, and it's lovely to see you again. But yeah, I think it's one of these things. It's going to become more prevalent. So the quicker you get on board with it and see how you can use it with your own work. I mean, if you're a straight up photographer, then it might not be. Well, certainly MidJourney might not be down your alleyway. Maybe something like DALL-E 2 will be more. That seems to be a bit more photographic. So that you could look at that on how to work with stuff. I mean, just like replacing things. DALL-E 2 looks really good. So it's just want to see what's out there, see if play around and see what's capable of things. Well, yeah, definitely, Stephen. But then again, it's like, if that does happen, is it the guy that typed the words? Is he the artist, or is it the programmers that programmed it initially? get the credit. It's new ground to break. But yeah, I would encourage everybody to have a go with it and just have a bit of fun with it and see what it's capable of. And you can either hate it or embrace it, or forget about it. But it's one of these things that's not going away. It's a bit like digital photography when it started. It's one of them things where the traditionalists went, ooh, not doing that. And in the end, nearly everybody's gone that way. I haven't looked at logos myself, Stephen, but it's one of them things I was tempted to, because I was thinking I could do with a new logo from like a new branding for my thing. Can I just type something in and it'll give me something? But then a graphics designer actually said, no, yours is quite good, don't touch it. So AI stuff Andy invented. Not quite, Peter, not quite. If only I was so clever. But yeah, so I think I will be doing more experimenting on these lines to see how things can come together. Because it's fascinating. And like I say, it's just a case of getting the right end result for that bit to blend in, or the combination of the two sets of images or whatever to come together. And then there's the question of, what colours do I need to be there to get the best out of the Analog Effects Pro presets as well. There's all these variables. There's not just the ICM stuff taking the images, and as you're working through, millions of variables, and then you've got artificial intelligence and trying to control the output and everything after that to bring into it. So, but anyway, let's say, exciting times. I think everybody should embrace them, even if it's just briefly. Right then, I think I have waffled long enough. I did leave the picture up for you all to see, though. So, right. So, thank you very much for watching this evening. It's been lovely to have you all along. Last week's video went really well. It's had like double the views. So there's obviously interest in the AI side of things out there in Photoshop land, in YouTube land. So that was good to see. So thank you very much for watching. If you do want to play around with the MidJourney AI bot thing, get signed up at midjourney.com and then hop along to me onto my server, so you don't get lost in amongst all the million people that are trying to generate art at any one time on the MidJourney server. So if you want to have a go at that, join Stephen and Paul and people that have already been having a try on my server. It just means it's quieter. That's all. Or you can set up your own Discord server and run it there. Or I think if you sign up and pay for your month, I think you're on. Obviously, it's all run through Discord, and if you can just do it directly through like DMing the MidJourney bot rather than doing it in a public space. Lots of technical things that, yes, it's not ideal. I listened to again an audio interview with the guy that developed it, like the head and chief, David Holtz or whatever he's called, and he wasn't. One of the things they're working on is making the onboarding process a lot more straightforward for the newbies, because not everybody does Discord. So they were hoping to develop something for the website that'll actually do all this in a way that's more, people can get their head around it better, because this is a complicated way of doing it using Discord, because not everybody understands Discord. Right, I'm waffling again. Thank you again. Thank you very much. If you've enjoyed this stream, please leave it a thumbs up. And if you're watching catch up, if you enjoyed it, leave a comment. It'd be lovely. There will be. I might do that moon technique thing this week, next week, maybe, and we'll see. But yeah, I am trying desperately to get these open edition prints sorted. If I get time, I might actually order the test ones tomorrow, and then I'll see what they're like, and then we might be ready to go next week with that. But yeah, if you want, other ways to support us, if you want to support me, is, well, apart from just watching, because obviously that's very, very much appreciated. There's the Patreon community. Feel free to join that if you wish. Lots of freebies on there. There's mobile wallpapers to buy on the website, and there's like desktop wallpaper, calendar type things available on the website as well as my presets for Analog Fix Pro, which still work with the new version as well. So just let you know about that. So yeah, that'll be due. Again, thank you very much. I will stop waffling now. So until next week, be safe, keep it hard. See yous.